All right, so we are back, and yes, I am still being held hostage in my Jeffrey Dahmer dungeon. I'm just kidding, I'm almost back home, almost done with the trip, but we stay working. And speaking of stay and work, in today's video, we're taking a look at a man that continues to work behind the scenes since his last fight. Yes, he got clowned a little bit by Floyd Mayweather, but he did happen to catch his eye like that baddie that you saw walking down the street yesterday that you just can't get off your mind. I'm talking about Deji. He's put out some new training footage and it's about 15 seconds. And my boy Jack here on Instagram said, Wade is going to find a way to make this into a 12-minute video. And listen, I don't want to toot my own horn, but people tell me I'm pretty good at making 15 seconds feel like 12 minutes, so you're damn right I'm about to. That's a long time, 12 minutes. But on a serious note, how does Deji look here? And with Daily's message on this Instagram post, boxing is a process and you have to trust it. This is the only thing you'll get until someday you see us again on Fight Week. I have a feeling that's gonna be sooner than we all think. But let me explain it all, because Deji's new boxing training footage shows that little things make a big difference. Why? The breakdown. Let's go. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Right. Not too close.
Boom.
Yeah, bit tough. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Like that, man.
Right. Not too close.
Backs him up, boom, boom. Let's talk about what I see here. First off, I have to ask this question because I don't know if I've ever seen Deji wear anything differently in the gym. Does he always wear that green half hoodie and those black pants? Does my man not have another fit that he wears when he comes to the gym? Right away, I know a lot of people were asking me this question. Why is Daly stomping on his foot like this? Why is Daly standing on Deji's foot? Well, let's watch this sequence play out and then I'll explain a little more. Boom. Boom. I'm telling you something. I love this from Daly and Deji. I love it. It makes my eyes twinkle and flicker like that background light on that door that's annoying me just enough to where I keep looking at it. But why is he standing on that toe? This is why. So as you watch Deji here throw his hook, you see he's not moving that lead foot, right? What have we talked about a lot when we talk about perfecting the lead hook or getting your hip involved with your shot? It is turning that foot over and pivoting, right? You can look at a video like the one from the great Tony Jeffries where he explains the different variations in lead hooks, right? One that you could turn your foot over, the leaping lead hook, or the flat-footed hip turnover in the lead hook. There's a lot of variation, but what Daly is teaching Deji here is what some of the greats do, because when we learn the lead hook, it is activating our hip to throw the shot without just being an arm punch, right? Just instead of the slappy arm punch, you boom, throw the hook over, but it comes from your foot to your hip to your shoulder. Now, when you get that movement down, that pivot becomes sometimes a wasted movement. And again, what Daly is trying to implement here with Deji, as you guys can see, he's trying not to let him move that lead foot and instead just activate his hip, which Deji is actually doing. And this is why I said the little things matter, because again, this doesn't seem like a lot, but in a fight, the little moments, the little movements, the little tells that you show in your shots and the amount of effort it takes to turn that lead foot over and pivot onto the toe sometimes is unneeded. In fact, most of the greats in boxing, like the Floyd Mayweathers and the Canelos, you can see they don't do that, right? They understand from years and years and years of throwing that lead hook that it's a wasted movement to sometimes turn that lead foot over, and it can give your opponent a little bit more time to either pivot off your shot if they slip, if they roll underneath, whatever it is, and you're in that position where you're on your lead toe. Now you have to pivot off and change the angle off your toe, whereas if you're flat-footed, you can just sidestep and get back to what you're doing, or bounce out of range and get back to it. What Daly is doing here by standing on Deji's lead foot is simple. Make the little things matter more. Do more with less. That's essentially what you see here. And when we watch it, boom, boom, you see the hip activation from Dej, right? Without having to pivot onto that toe. It's just transfer of weight while staying on balance and understanding you don't have to put all that effort into it as long as we get that hip rotation, connective movements, teaching him how to do it with less effort and the same amount of power and staying on those shots.
Yeah. Right.
You see drive, Daly shows him the gloves, Deji takes that little extra step And because of that, this is why Daly tells him, and that's a nice, again, we like this. Perfect. Good placement with the hands. Outside leverage with the lead leg. Driving that left hand straight down the pipe. Getting off center line with the head is the last part of that equation. But again, I like all this. Now listen to what Daly says next. Not too close. And that's just because Deji, on that little half step with his jab, got just a bit into range where he extends that left hand, but he can't get full extension on that shot. Instead, he is a little bit more compact with his jab. It's like bop, bop, bop. And his extension gets past the pad there instead of really extending to launch that shot into the pad. He's kind of throwing it past it just a bit. So again, he just overextends a bit. But Daly, simple commands. Not too close. And watch Deji adjust. Perfect. See the little mini step? Not too close. Backs him up. And no mini step here. We just step and throw. Bang, bang. Woo-wee! That's a good shot. That's a solid shot there from Dej. Again, the last thing you want to add here is the head movement, right? Because we're head on the center line, head on the center line. It's a great shot though, man. Everything working together. I'm telling you this, Deji is getting a lot better. His technique. And it's because they're focusing on his technique and not giving him different techniques and all this different crazy stuff to do, but the basics of the things he already knows, the fundamentals that go into why he's throwing that shot, what it means when Daly says not too close, why when he's throwing that lead hook, he can still generate power without turning his entire leg over and getting on that toe. All right, so there's the training side of this, but I still got to go back and question that tag, that caption that Daly had on Instagram. This is the only thing you'll get until someday you see us again on Fight Week. I have a feeling, guys, that someday is coming soon. And again, this is not confirmed anywhere, and I have no sources on this. I would tell you guys if this was breaking news, but I'm just putting pieces together here. I think two things. One, Deji's gonna be fighting soon, and two, it will not be on Misfits. I don't think it works for him to be on Misfits right now because one, he would have to main event, and if he is fighting soon, I don't know what card he would main event. Maybe in April you could say, but then you'd say who against? The potential opponents either have fights like Jay Swingler and King Kenny, or are moving down in weight like Slim, or don't even box on Misfits like what we're seeing in Kingpin Boxing, Jarvis and apparently 7 other names in this 160 to 170 pound tournament. Again, this is complete speculation, but would it be far-fetched to think that potentially Deji could be an opponent of Jarvis or could just be in the Kingpin tournament? But like I said, it's the little things that matter. I don't just mean your attention span or what I do in my personal time, or even just what Deji is learning in the boxing ring. I mean, look between the lines. Something's coming here for Deji, and again, little subtle hints could mean a very big thing. But like I said, you guys let me know, what do you think of Deji's training footage? Is he getting exponentially better? Is there things that you can still see, you can work on? And when do we see Deji next? I don't have those answers, but I guess we'll find out.